We're here because we want to represent the ethanol industry, which we believe for COP23 is a solution that we actually produce today for today's problems. Not 2030's problems, or not 2040 or 2050, but for today's solutions today.
Ethanol Europe brought a new way of looking at the required bridge from now till 2030 or beyond, when we'll see potentially full electrification. It's a concrete solution that can be used now, and that was of great interest to us.
Ethanol it's a real true product. It's renewable. It helps the environment. It creates jobs in agriculture. Creates jobs in the plants where it's built. So I think there's real truism there.
Ethanol and biofuels are leading the way in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, not only in the U.S. but globally as well. And so it's important to show the benefits that we can to the U.S. and to all the countries around the world. What can be done to combat climate change?
There is an aspect of ethanol which is underestimated, I think, and this is that ethanol also brings energy independence, or reduce the energy dependence of the European countries. As we know, Europe is short of energy.
With respect to the consumers' comfort, well, they cannot really feel that it is not endangered at all by using ethanol, because we can just use the existing fleet and blend the ethanol into the fossil fuels. So you as a consumer have this benefit of reducing GHG emissions, and you don't even know that.
If you go to a low-carbon energy future, you need a whole mix of technologies. And the IEA scenarios show that bioenergy is an important component of that. And in the transport sector, that means biofuels, because biofuels are one of the few ways in which you can decarbonize some sectors, particularly long-haul transport.
We all have to push for less dependence on fossil fuel and to have a more low-carbon transport fuels. And ethanol is often forgotten because it's here today. People don't see it. You consume it in your tank without noticing it when it's not labeled.
Transport needs to be decarbonized. Transport is the only sector actually that has a growing greenhouse gas emissions. And there are no silver bullets in transport. And we need solutions now, not just in 50 years' time.
A lot of people don't realize how much ethanol is used today. I come from the United States. Nearly every gallon of gasoline sold in the United States, 10% of it is blended with ethanol today. It saves consumers every time they fill up at the pump. And at the same time, by anyone's metric, it reduces greenhouse gas emissions.
The International Energy Agency forecasts that in order to reach, our climate goals as a society, we'll need to use biofuels as about to the point that it accounts for about a third of our energy consumption in 2050. So it's as important as electromobility and efficiency in terms of being one of the three main pillars of transport decarbonisation.
I'm sure even in the 30 years to come, biofuels will have a role in some places.
I think they should be taken more serious. I think we have addressed in many scientific publications a lot of the concerns pertaining to food versus fuel, pertaining to land use expansion, and those concerns have been addressed.
I think many countries are already starting to see the positive effects of ethanol, especially when looking at complying with COP21 commitments. And so it's our vision that countries adopt E10 and E20 policies across the globe to really help improve their air quality and reduce their greenhouse gas emissions.
feel like there's a lot of options for developing countries to adopt ethanol and solve some of their key air emissions and reduce toxins, which is also key, right? Greenhouse gas is very important, but toxins is air toxins and bacterial pollutants is a major thing.
Corn ethanol is more than 50% of all biofuels used in the world today. This year, the average GHG savings for ethanol in Europe are 67%, and I know, being in the industry, that we're going to get 70% next year, and we're going to get up to 90% by 2025.
Those in the room who support alternate fuels, those in the room who are working and focusing on reducing all fuel use, those who are working on some of the more magic bullet solutions around electric vehicles, that we really work out where we come together here.
I think we would like to start a long-term relationship with Ethanol Europe and the Climate Ethanol Alliance. I think you bring a lot of interesting inputs, speakers, and knowledge that could benefit the whole process.